All right, so let me ask you, let's get it out of the way. How many of the world's phones, what percentage of the world's phones do you have chips in?
So we don't actually disclose the exact number, but it's a pretty large percentage. We work with basically every manufacturer that's out there.
What does your input into the phone have to do with the user experience?
Oh, we do a lot. I mean, we build all of the stuff that goes inside the phone that makes it run fast, animate smoothly, get your position, download fast, talk to your Wi-Fi, talk to your Bluetooth headset or your car. I mean, all of the things that are going on inside that phone are encapsulated in this little chip. And that's what we do. We make a very, very integrated chip that has tons of capabilities in it.
Back in the early days of PCs and laptops, the average consumer was conversant in the new technology in a chip going into the computers. We sort of knew people would use that in conversation. That doesn't exist in your world. The consumer isn't as conscious of the development cycle in chips. Tell me a little about that.
Well, in the U.S., that's definitely the case. People don't really know what goes on inside their cell phone. In other markets, though, China in particular, they know the chips, they know the names of the chips. Oh yeah, no, it's very much a focus of the consumer to know what's inside their phone. And so we're trying to do some education in the United States. We started some branding now, our Snapdragon 800, and we're showing off a little dragon. I did this in my CES keynote.
Right.
So we're going to do a little bit of that stuff now and see whether we can educate the consumer to understand, hey, it really does matter what processor's inside your phone.
So how then do you square that with the idea that there's an element of secrecy where you can't tell us whose phones your chips are in? Because part of that branding, you're talking about something where someone will buy a phone because they see Snapdragon,
right,
or they know it's a Qualcomm chip. So how do you, from a branding perspective, how do you manage that?
It depends on the manufacturer. Some manufacturers really want to be associated with somebody else's brand, and other manufacturers, it's really about their own brand, and that's all they want to have the conversation about.
What excites you about the mobile space? What's the thing if somebody just dropped in and said, hey, look, what in 10 years, what's going to happen that doesn't happen now? You've told me it's going to be a faster and smoother experience, but are there things that we're going to do that we don't even conceive of, that guys like me don't think of, that your engineers are thinking of?
Absolutely. I mean, we have this notion of the digital sixth sense, which means that you have 5 senses now, we're going to add another one. What's that sense? It's telling you what's around you in cyberspace, because connectivity is going to get embedded into all the things around us. So all my screens, my lights, my air conditioning in my house, my heating, the locks on my door. When I get in my car is going to tell my phone what it's capable of doing, what controls there are in it. My phone's going to tell my car, hey, this is Paul, this is how he likes his seat done, and here's the content that I have that I can give, that I can show on this display. I walk into a store, the store will know that I'm interested in something. They won't necessarily know that Paul Jacobs walked into the store, but they'll know that somebody who's interested in such and such of a thing, and they'll be able to send me offers. So we're going to have this merger, this blend between the digital world and the physical world that I think is going to be really exciting. And that'll play out over the next few years.